or imagine something, we always do it will be one iteration of life. That's like you sit like go around and walk. So some prayers here say, well, they might get there, as opposed to saying, well, actually they
Mr.
could get
Rajan, can
way
you
up there.
mute yourself, please?
It's actually very well here. Okay. So let's.
Yeah, maybe we can activate that mute on entry. There is an option I think you know, Samit.
Yeah, I forgot today, so maybe I
Yeah,
made it
maybe
was
next
after
time
I
also.
make it was I can't do it. Next time I'll do it.
Yeah, please. Thank you. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dear devotees, as you all know, we discussed one or two Prakarana Granthas, that is introductory manual like Tattvabodha, Aparokshanubhuti, and one more, I think, Drugdrishya Viveka. Then afterwards, we did discuss about the Mundaka Upanishad. After discussing Mundaka Upanishad, now today, all of us, we have assembled that to discuss or to know about Dakshinamurthy Stotram. Now, I gave the one Shanti mantra or beginning prayer. This is a one often quoted sloka, hymn, and which has been traditionally, when they start Advaita Vedantic text, in many acharyas, they chant this wonderful verse. The meaning goes beautifully. Sada Shiva Samarambham. Samyak Arambham. At the beginning, from the beginning. Who is Adi Guru? Sada Shiva. So my salutations to the lineage, starting from the Lord Shiva, Sadashiva Samarambham, starting from Adi Guru, that is Shiva, Lord Shiva, Shankaracharya Madhyama. In between, in the middle, there is a Adi Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya, Asmadacharya Paryanta. After Adi Shankaracharya, his disciple, there are so many acharyas, so many gurus have come. Until my guru, who is teaching me Vedanta, who is imparting me Vedanta, till then I am trying to remember, and one day Guru Paramparam. My salutations to the entire lineage are for all the gurus who are responsible to maintain this lineage and to give back us this wonderful text or wisdom. Now, Dakshinamurthy Stotra. Adi Shankaracharya has written a lot of stotras. If you see the complete works of Adi Shankaracharya, say if they have got 8 volumes, 2 or 3 volumes are dedicated to Gnana, that is for his bhashyas, commentaries, and 5 volumes are dedicated to his stotras, different stotras on different deities, gods, maybe Lord Ganesha, Lord Kartikeya, Lord Goddess's mother, divine mother, or Shiva, or Krishna. So more than Gnana works, his works are more in devotion. That is a wonderful thinking, or wonderful to be noted. Now, though it is a stotra, but it is considered as the essence of the Vedanta or essence of the Upanishads. That's where we try to study. Dakshinamurthy Stotra, though it is like stotra, there are so many stotras. We may not study all of them, but Dakshinamurthy Stotra has been studied by Advaita Vedantins. Why? Because though it is stotra, it is the gist of the Upanishads. In the 10 slokas, in the 10 verses, Adi Shankaracharya, by trying to glorify the Lord Dakshinamurthy, he has given the essence of the Upanishads. So Swami Chinmayanji makes a statement, makes a comment saying that Dakshinamurthy Stotra is the PhD of Advaita Vedanta. Why? Because Adi Shankaracharya has given in the formula form, in the capsule form of all the essence of the Upanishads. 10 Upanishads, if you know, Isha, Kena, Kata, Prashna, Mundaka, Mandukya, Aitariya, Brihadaranyaka, Chandogya. So the essence of these 10 Upanishads has been given in the 10 shlokas. So traditionally, some of the acharyas say, after reading Prakarana Granthas, Bhagavad Gita, and all of the Upanishads, or majority of the Upanishads you have to study, then you should come to Dakshinamurti, you'll be able to enjoy it. You'll be able to understand and enjoy every line, every word of this Dakshinamurthy Stotra, because it has got so much rich meaning. Now, Dakshinamurti. Now, in the Shaiva Sampradaya, Shiva has been considered as, the Lord Shiva has been considered as Adi Guru. In the Vaishnava Sampradayas, Hayagriva, one is the one form of Vishnu, Hayagriva is considered as Adi Guru. And in the Shakta tradition, mostly Parvati is considered as Adi Guru. From all the secrets and from the knowledge, from the Shakta tradition, they say that we got from Parvati, or Divine Mother. And Vaishnavas, they say from Hayagriva, which is one of the avatara form of Vishnu. And Shaivits, they say that we have got knowledge from Shiva. Now, Dakshinamurti is, who is this Dakshinamurti? As I told in the beginning of this lecture, Sada Shiva Samarambham, Samyak Arambham. The good beginning has been done by whom? Sada Shiva. Sada Shiva, Lord Shiva. The Lord Shiva is none other. Lord Shiva himself is appeared as Dakshinamurti. So that Dakshinamurti is Brahma Vidya Guru. That's why it's Sada Shiva. So the Sada Shiva Samarambha means Dakshinamurti Samarambham. So starting from Dakshinamurti and in between Shankaracharya until my Guru, my respects, my salutations to the entire lineage. Now, why Shankaracharya in middle? Why? Because before Shankaracharya also, Advaita Vedanta was there, no doubt. Shankaracharya didn't start Advaita Vedanta. Is okay, everything?
Now we can hear you, Swamiji. In between, I think there was. At least I couldn't hear you. I can hear you now.
Network issue
I
from my
missed
side?
last. I don't know, Swamiji. I suspect it is from your side.
No.
Last 1 minute.
Swamiji's side network issue. We also
Okay.
couldn't hear.
Just the last 1 minute or so.
Last 1 minute. Okay.
So you just started explaining
about
why we considered Adi Shankaracharya, and then why Adi Shankaracharya has come in between. Is what you said, that Advaita Vedanta existed before him, and then after that we could.
Okay, just I'm redirecting to YouTube. Just a minute. Yeah.
I can hear you now, Philip.
Okay.
Only in between there was a problem. Now it is very clear. It is live also.
Okay.
I continue.
Yeah. So why we consider why we give so much importance to the Adi Shankaracharya? Because Adi Shankaracharya gave the structural approach for Advaita Vedanta, and not only that, he made famous by traveling across the India twice or thrice, and he taught and he established Advaita Vedanta as a mainstream. That's why we remember Shankaracharya. Then after Shankaracharya, there are so many gurus have come, until the guru who is teaching us, who is the immediate guru who is teaching us Advaita Vedanta, who is imparting Advaita Vedanta, till then our respects. Why? Because of all of them, Some of them I might not know him, but because of his contribution, that lineage has been continued. That age-old wisdom has been given to us, has been imparted to us even now or even today. That's why my respect, my gratitude to all these gurus and to the lineage. The interesting is, for example, in the mobile, the latest mobile has got costly. For example, if you have got iPhone 12, iPhone 13, iPhone 14, iPhone 15, say, iPhone 15 will be the costliest because it is with advanced features, it is the new, brand new, etc., etc. The older, it goes less price. But in Vedanta or in the spiritual traditions, if it is the more old, then it has got more value. Oh, what is your sampradaya? Oh, it's when it started. It started 10 years before. Oh, it is very new. Okay, it is accepted, might be accepted, but it is not seen in a very respectful form. But some sampradaya is very old, very ancient, thousands of years history is there. That means it is considered as very respectful. Why? Because till then it has come and it has been proved and it has shown that what it can do or whatever. So in the spiritual paths, the more ancient, it is more respectful. Now, Shiva, we all know that Brahma, Lord Brahma as Srishtikarta, Lord Vishnu as Palanakarta, and Lord Shiva is a Layakarta. Layakarta means it is not, sometimes we say that pralaya or destruction. It is not destruction, it is actually dissolution. Like from the unmanifested state, the world appeared, our world got manifested. Again, from manifested state, it goes to the unmanifested state. So that's why it is called Laya. Pralaya is prakarsha rupena laya. So nicely it is getting dissolved, or it is complete dissolution. Now, when Shiva does that laya, okay, this entire creation, if you say, Atyantika, when Mahapralaya, when you say, the entire universe went back from manifested state to unmanifested state. Okay, what happens to the Jeevis beings? Our gross bodies all been destroyed, no doubt, but we are in our subtle form. Our ignorance and karma phala, fruits of action, is there restored. So once the cycle starts, the new cycle or the new creation cycle starts, again we come into existence. Our life journey, the cycle of birth and death, samsara chakra, it starts. So this Layakarta Shiva, that whatever that, there's a temporary freedom. Similarly in the death also. So when a person dies, there is a temporary freedom for him or her, that's all. But there is no absolute freedom. But whereas Dakshinamurthy, the same Shiva is appearing or has been manifested as Dakshinamurthy, no doubt, he is Adi Guru of Brahma Vidya. He is also Layakarta, he is also called Layakarta. What is the difference? When the Shiva, that Layakarta, it is temporary freedom. When Dakshinamurthy, when you worship or whatever the teachings he has given, if you understand and put it to practice, then Atyantika Laya happens in our life. What do we mean by Adhyantika Laya? That means there will be complete destruction of ignorance. Means no more birth and no more death. So no more samsara chakra. I need to come again, I need to go to kindergarten school or nursery, and I need to start my studies. I need to undergo all the ups and downs in the life. No one is paid. So all the things can be stopped. That's why Dakshinamurthy is known as Ajnana Nashaka or Atyantika Nashaka. Means complete destruction. That is Ajnana Nasha by doing that. So how does it destroy the ignorance in our life, if you say? By imparting the knowledge. What knowledge? Is he teaching calculus? Is he teaching analytical geometry, or the physics, or chemistry, or biology, or astronomy, astrology? No. He is giving the Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya, the self-knowledge. He is teaching, by imparting the self-knowledge for all of us through his teachings, through his doctrines, he is helping us to get rid of this ignorance, to get rid of this samsara. Now, how this knowledge has been transferred? Is there any physical transfer? Like you go to a shop, you go to a mall, and you bring 5 kgs of rice, or 3 kgs of sugar, or some chocolates, or some things you purchase and bring. So can we do like that in market? Is it available, this Brahmagnana? No. Okay, we will do USB transfer or e-transfer. by tapping transfers are possible nowadays. Is it like that e-transfer from one head to another head? My head, I have got Brahmagnana or the Atmagnana or Brahma Vidya. I will transfer from my head to your head. Or we have got instruments which will help us to transfer. No, it is through Upadesha, through Shabdagnana. He has got experience, the Brahmagnana. What is that Brahman? He has got that experience in the Vritti Rupa that has been shown in the Upadesha, in the Shabda Rupa. Whatever I know, it is in my mind as a concept. That is in the form of vritti, in the form of vritti, thoughts. If I have to make you understand, then I have to give the upadesha through my teachings or through words and the sentences. So through his teachings, he is imparting the knowledge by accepting, by understanding, and by practicing. Then what happens? Atyantika nasha, that is the destruction of the ignorance happens. Now, a question may come for all of us. Is it really happens? Because we know that all these things we might have heard, what about the Advaita Vedanta, scriptures, etc., etc. That's all fine. But really, does it happen? The question can come. It should come. If not, yes. I will give a simple example. Probably you will understand, and which every one of us we might have experienced. Recently, here in Dublin, one of a person is probably in his between 40 and 50s. He comes regularly to my talk. He attends. He's a serious thinker and is a sincere spiritual aspirant and is very committed in his pursuits. Recently, he called me and he said, "Swamiji, I'm hearing your lectures regularly as much as possible, and I'm thankful to you, and I wanted to put into practice." Fine, but there is an issue now. Okay, what is the issue? Oh, recently I had a fever and had a terrible body ache. Fine, and at the same time, added to that, there was some problems in my family. Okay, now I was able to remember Drugdrishya Viveka classes or the teachings of Drugdrishya Viveka which you taught us, and I know that I am the Druk, not the Drishya. That is seer 3. I am the seer 3, not the seen. Whoever has attended the Drugdrishya Viveka class will be able to remember now. So I am the seer, never the seen. I know this knowledge and I want to practice this, but still I am unable to. I am telling my mind, oh mind, I am the Druk, I am the seer and not the seen. So this fever is only for body and I am not the body and mind. Why am I suffering? I should not suffer. I am trying to practice, I am trying to tell my mind, but still I am suffering. Similarly, there are some problems in the family. Okay, problems are there, let me solve it, let me try to solve it, and the problem belongs to this world or the body and mind. I am neither the world nor the body and mind, so why should I get disturbed? Why should I get carried over from all these things? So like that, whatever the Advaita knowledge I had got little from you or from the scriptures, I wanted to put into practice. I am trying so much hard, but I am not able to. Now, what should I do? This is my problem. So I was really, astonished, and really I was very happy about to hear this. So here the point is, see, earlier before attending this Advaita Vedanta classes, scripture classes, probably was not aware of any of these things, and he would have been carried over by the problems. He would have been disturbed, terribly disturbed by all these problems, similar problems, or same way or in the much more intense form, he would have been disturbed. Now, of course, he is not able to put into the Advaita knowledge completely to the extent possible, but he is trying. That's what I explained him. Yes, you are not completely established. You are not able to put the entire Advaita Vedantic knowledge at once, no doubt, but you are trying. See, at that given juncture, at that critical situation, his body is suffering, his mind is suffering because of the health and because of the family problems. But at the same time, he is trying to think that I am the self, not the body, not the mind, not the world. Why should I get boggled? It doesn't mean that I should not. I should be insensitive. Rather, he is trying to transcend it. So he has to solve the problems. His body has to suffer with that fever by taking medicines. Okay, it can be controlled to some extent, never mind, but he can be undisturbed with all these things. That's what Advaita Vedanta helps us. So I always say, I travel from what to So what? So for Brahmagnani, does not he get a fever? Yes, he will get, because his body will get. Does not he get cold? Yes, he will get it. He will not get any other physical problems. Yes, his body also will get it, never mind. But he will not be disturbed, or he will not be really, perturbed by all these things. This is what the change happens. Otherwise, many people feel that how Swami Advaita Vedanta he speaks and he has got a cold or fever or headache. No, his body also gets all these things, but he will not be disturbed. So when you study Advaita Vedanta, when you're able to think, when you're able to put into practice as much as possible, then what happens? That much suffering reduces. Why? Advaita Vedanta is trying to tell about the self, which is our nature, which is called subject I. So we have forgot about subject, but we have become subjective in our nature, in our dealings. That's where the problem is. There's a beautiful picture, mostly in Facebook and internet is available. It is a quarrel between two people, 6 and 9. So the person who is standing right side direction, he's saying that it is 6. The person who is standing opposite direction, the left side, he's telling that no, it is not 6, it is 9. So which is that 6 or 9? Yes, it is both 6 and 9. Both are right from their perspectives. So sometimes this, and sometimes because our mind is colored with all our limitations and desires and attraction, aversion, whatever Arishad Vargas we say, so all our decisions and our thinkings can be limited, can be narrowed down, can be defective, because we have got subjective thinking. And the body, mind, world, everything is object, and we should have objective outlook. We are subject and we should have objective outlook, but we are having a subjective outlook and we have been obsessed about the objects, forgetting the subject. It is completely paradoxical, completely opposite. In Shankaracharya, Adi Shankaracharya writing to Brahma Sutra in the Adhyasa Bhashya, at the beginning he says, it is a miracle, astonishment. It is like saying that though I am the self, not the body and mind, because of the Maya, I am thinking that I am the body and mind. It is like the darkness and the light existing together, which is not possible, but still it is there. Means I am the self, but I am thinking the body and mind as I reality. So the notion of ignorance, which is delusion, will go away by Advaita Vedanta. And this can be practiced in our day-to-day life at every stage, either with my family, with my kith and kin, parents, children, husband and wife, or in our working atmosphere, or with oneself. We can put this Advaita into practice. I can be undisturbed, because we are always busy in changing people. I always think that my wife should be like this, my husband be like this, then I'll be happy. My children, if they behave like this, I'll be happy. My colleague, if he or she behaves like this, I'll be happy. So the reason for my happiness is someone else, not me. This is what, unfortunately, we are thinking wrong. Advaita Vedanta says that is completely wrong, my dear. Because the real happiness or the happiness lies in you, not in anyone else. Happiness lies by eating chocolate. That's what the child thinks. Is it so? No. The child thinks by having a toy, he can be happy. But the same child, when he grows as adolescent, then the same toy will give no more joy. Then he or she thinks bicycle or a moped. Then afterwards car. Then with opposite sex. Then with the money. Then with the property. Then with the power and position. But when we become a bit old and matured enough, emotionally matured enough, then we understand all of them are required, necessary, no doubt, for life. They give some security, they give some happiness, but all of them are limited. That's what Advaita Vedanta is saying. The real happiness can be given from yourself. From Bhakti point of view, you can say God. From Jnana point of view, it is the self, which is our inherent nature. And we are imposing that in the world and its objects, and we think that if that is there, this is there, I can be happy. Because of the lack of that particular thing, I am unhappy. I think that's so, which is a delusion. So by practicing Advaita Vedanta in a day-to-day life, in every moment, I can be the happiest man. My bank balance may not increase, I may not get promotion in my life, in my job or profession, but I can live happiest life. Now, Dakshinamurti is the Adi Guru. Now, Shankaracharya has composed 10 verses in this Dakshinamurti Stotra. Stotra means stuti. Stu, from that dhatu it comes. Stu means to praise, glorification. So Adi Shankaracharya, by glorifying, by praising Dakshinamurti, is teaching the Advaita Vedanta. He is giving the Advaita Vedanta in the nutshell. If you see Sadhana Panchakam, Panchakam means 5. There are only 5 verses about the spiritual practice, which is being composed by Adi Shankaracharya. In the 5 verses, 40 types of spiritual disciplines has been discussed by Adi Shankaracharya in the formula form, in the nutshell form. So similarly, the entire Upanishadic literature has been given in the nutshell in these 10 verses. Now, Dakshinamurti, the meaning of this Dakshinamurti, we shall try to see. Dakshinamurti, the word Dakshinamurti can be discussed at two meanings are there at broad classification. I will be discussing now. Murti means what? Form, idol, or the personality or the person. Dakshina means what? A person who is facing the southern direction. So Dakshinamurti means a person, whoever is sitting and he's facing the south direction. Now, in our Vedic literature, everything has been preceded by a deity. Every object is preceded by a deity. Every direction is preceded by a deity. Even every sense organs, our sense organs, 5 sense organs of knowledge, 5 sense organs of action, even they are also preceded by deity. Now, the east direction, Purva, has been preceded by Indra. Okay, then the north direction is preceded by Soma or Chandra, moon. Then the west direction is been preceded by Varuna, the rain god, you can say. And the south direction is preceded by Yama, the lord of death. That's where in the traditional families, when people are facing towards south and if they are eating, even taking tablets, they don't allow. Just like we should not put our head in the northern direction, which we give a Ganesha story example. So similarly, in the traditionally, how in the houses, traditional houses, they say southwards direction we should not face and eat. Why? Because that means we'll die, we'll go to near to Yama. None of us want to welcome Yama. We are ready to welcome Vishnu, we are ready to welcome Indra, we are ready to welcome Brahaspati, we are ready to welcome Ashwini Devatas, or Surya, or Chandra, everyone we are ready, but none of us we want to welcome Yama. He is so impartial, no doubt. Why we don't want to welcome him? Why? Because he is Lord of Death. If he comes means he will take away, he will snatch away our prana, he will snatch away our life. We have to embrace the death, which we are not ready. None of us we want to die. That's why most of us, we don't like Yama and we don't want to sit in the south direction and reduce our, lifespan. Now, Dakshinamurti is sitting on the south direction, facing the south direction. What does it mean? That means he is Mrityunjaya. He's sitting in the south direction, he's facing the south direction means what? He has conquered the mortality. Yama means Lord of Death. Death symbolizes mortality. Then Dakshinamurti means a person, a god who is facing the south direction, he has conquered the mortality. Means he is immortal. By how? As a self. So he has conquered the greatest fear, biggest fear, Abhinivesha. Abhinivesha means fear of death. That is the greatest fear every one of us we have got. Of course, some of us we have got a fear from cockroach, fear from lizard, fear from dogs and all. But the greatest fear every one of us we have got, that is fear of death. And Dakshinamurti has conquered that fear of death by sitting and by facing south direction. So by worshipping him, by following his teachings, what do I get? I will also, or I can also conquer the fear of death. So when death comes, as Swami Vivekananda says, I welcome him, I love it, I will meditate on that, he says, Swami Vivekananda. Because he has become immortal. He has conquered the fear of death and the death. So Dakshinamurti means Mrityunjaya. That's where when people have got a health issues in the family, again and again they're going bad, their health is going bad, they say, oh, try to do Mrityunjaya Homa, Mrityunjaya Japa. Isn't it? Now, and Dakshinamurti means one more meaning is, one is Dakshina Murti, the person who is facing the south direction. The second meaning is Dakshina Amurti. In the first Dakshina, Na is a long vowel or the Dirga Swara. Here Dakshina means Rasva, short vowel. Dakshina Amurti. So here Amurti means formless. We all know that. Dakshina means here Samarthaha. The meaning of Dakshina here is Samarthaha, who is an expert person, who is a skilled person. He is skilled in what? Skilled in carpenting, skilled in computing, or AI. Today we are all speaking, and so many people, we are all obsessed with losing our jobs because of artificial intelligence. He is intelligent in what? He is expert in what? He is expert in communication. In communication of what? Communication of Brahma Vidya, communication of Atma Vidya, or from the Mundaka Upanishad language, if you want me to speak, communication of Paravidya. Because which cannot be described, which is very subtler or subtlest, which is very fine, which is very difficult to comprehend. Even such ancient philosophy, such subtle philosophy has been told in a beautiful manner, so that any sincere spiritual aspirant can understand, can comprehend the absolute truth. So he is the expert communicator. The highest philosophy has been told, has been made possible for all of us to comprehend. Now, then you may say, Dakshinamurti, you say that he is formless, but we have got a form, because we know that he is sitting off cross-legged, and in one hand he's having a pasha, and in one hand he's got ankusha, in one hand he's going Vedas, in one hand he is giving a abhaya mudra or chin mudra. All these things we know that, and there are very different forms of Dakshinamurti images also, no doubt. Then if he's formless, then why are we having this form? Then is it wrong? Why this Dakshinamurti form has been given is because the problem is with our mind is, without name and form, we cannot think. Say for an example, when I say Brahman, what is this Brahman? Oh, Brahman is oneself, one's own nature. Okay, how it looks like, how it is. It doesn't have any form, it doesn't have any name, it doesn't have any, it is not an object, it is subject. How much ever I give an explanation, when you are thinking about it, somehow you will try to imagine maybe it is like a sky, or it is like a cloud, or it is like probably a condensed form of light, or it is form of a light, or it is a form of darkness. Knowingly or unknowingly, our mind thinks. Why? Because we are without name and form, our mind cannot think. And this is our strength and this is our limitations, which I have discussed this quite a few times. So knowing this, our forefathers and rishis gave the form, wonderful form. So use this limitation and try to reach the God. So why this Murti worship, the idol worship has been given? Because without name and form, we cannot comprehend the God. So start from there, slowly from the form, with form, you go to formless. You go from Dvaita to Advaita, or from the form, from the Murti, you become Amurti. So for the sake of meditation, for the sake of contemplation, etc., this Dakshinamurti has been formed, has been given. And of course, many sadhakas and many people also have experienced the form of Dakshinamurti. Based on that only it has been described. That means Dakshinamurti, meaning the word Dakshinamurti has got two meanings. One is Brahma Vidya Guru, is Adi Guru, is Brahma Vidya Guru. The other is actually Nirguna Brahma. Is an expert teacher, is the expert teacher, ancient teacher, and is the beginning of this teaching, that is Brahma Vidya. One, and the second is Nirguna Brahma. So the teacher and the Supreme Self, Parabrahma, both are none other than Dakshinamurti. So the stotra, the verses are pertaining to this Dakshinamurti. Who is that Dakshinamurti? He is the Guru and is also the Parabrahma. So now it is a PhD textbook on Vedanta, Dakshinamurti Stotra I have told. Shankaracharya's disciple, Sureshwaracharya, who is the first pontiff of the Shungeri Dakshinamnaya Pita, he has written Vartika. Vartika means glass actually. It is called glass, Vartika, technical word. He has written now, Dakshinamurti Stotra is only 10 verses. And he has written a glass, he has written a Vartika on that. How many, 144 verses. 144 verses. Where is the original text is 10 verses, and Sureshwaracharya has written the explanation for this in the form of poetry, in the form of shloka form, that is 144 verses. Now you very well you can imagine how deep it is. And Tattva Sudha by name, there's one more Bhashya, direct Bhashya commentary on this by Swayam Prakasha, and there is a Manasollasa Vartika. And the Manasollasa itself is a Vartika. On that Manasollasa, there is one more Vartika by Ramatirtha. Now, apart from these 10 slokas, some 6 to 8 Dhyana slokas also has been added by Acharyas in the later period. Now see, for example, in Bhagavad Gita, we know that Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam. Like that, Dhyana slokas, it goes. These Dhyana slokas was not written by Vedavyasa. In later period, some acharyas, some gurus have added the Dhyana slokas, which we all use today, which is not part of Bhagavad Gita or neither Mahabharata. So similarly, 6 to 8 slokas are there, which is been given, which has been studied along with the 10 verses as a Dhyana slokas. Let us see if we will take it or not. Now, today I will give it just maybe in 5 minutes. I will give the overall picture of these 10 slokas in the nut form. Then from next class onwards, we will be taking the actual subject. So today is an introductory class. What is Dakshinamurti Stotra I have given you. Now, in the first chapter, in the first verse, Adi Shankaracharya tells, he gives an example of a mirror. In the mirror, the universe is appeared. The universe is getting appeared in the mirror. That is the example he's giving, allegory. Okay. Just like the mirror is the world is appearing in the mirror, it is only reflection, it is not a real. So similarly, in our mind, this whole world has been reflected. So, which is not real. So the transitoriness or the delusiveness of this world has been explained in the first verse, in the first sloka. Okay. In the second sloka, if you see the huge banyan tree, how this huge banyan tree was grown? It emerged out from the tiny seed. If you have seen, anyone of you have seen banyan seeds, it is so tiny, so small. From that small tiny seed, this huge banyan tree has been emerged. So huge banyan tree has been embedded in a subtle form in that seeds, which is quite impossible, Herculean task, we think that, but it is the fact. So similarly, just like the mighty tree is hidden in the subtle form, so this huge universe is being hidden in the subtle form, either in the Atman or in the Brahman. In the third verse has been given the stress on the freedom from the cycle of birth and death or samsara chakra. And how it is attained, how it can be attained? Through Atma Gnana, through self-knowledge, one can attain the freedom. Again, attaining the freedom is only a usage, but it is actually loosening the ignorance or removing the ignorance. Then in the fourth verse, it's they speak of daily empirical knowledge, our day-to-day knowledge. Are you not able to hear me again?
We can hear you, Swamiji. I'm able to hear you.
Okay. So in the fourth verse, day-to-day knowledge or empirical knowledge, which we are getting. Now I'm speaking and you are hearing and you are seeing some things and all. This knowledge, how do we get it? Through sense and mind, which we have discussed in the Drupdishya Viveka, these things in detail. So all this knowledge we get from sense organs and the mind, whatever we speak, for that, the root is what? The source is what? The Atman. Atman is the root or source for all our knowledge, empirical knowledge, secular knowledge, or spiritual knowledge. Now, the fifth verse tells how the ignorant person has been deluded. He thinks that he is the body, he or she is the body. I am the body, I am the prana, I am the vital forces, I am the mind, I am the thought, I am the emotions. So he has been misidentified from the self towards the body and mind complex because of the ignorance or because of the maya or because of the delusion. So in the sixth, they give a allegory again, just like is the mythological concept, Rahu. How the solar eclipse or lunar eclipse happens, today our science has told very clearly all these things. So the mythology tells that if the solar eclipse means Rahu has swallowed the sun. Lunar eclipse means Rahu has swallowed the moon, temporarily, of course. So when Rahu swallows the moon, that means lunar eclipse happens. When Rahu swallows solar sun means it is a solar eclipse. So similarly, we have been eclipsed in our sleep. He is giving the example of Sushupti. In Sushupti, what happens? There Brahman plus ignorance alone is there. Means our body and mind is at rest, they are dormant, they are inactive. Then what is there? Brahman is there, but it has been covered with the ignorance. That is the difference between a deep sleep, Sushupti, and the, Samadhi. In the Samadhi, what happens? Brahman will be there, the ignorance is not there. Ignorance will be removed or destroyed. So what is Sushupti, in the nature of Sushupti? How the apparent absence of consciousness is been seen or perceived has been told there. Now in the seventh verse, 3 stages of experiences, that is Sushupti, Swapna, or Jagradavastha, and different stages of life, like Balyavastha, that is childhood days, then Kaumarya, that is adolescent, or then Yauvana, young, middle age, then Muppu, that is the old age. There is so much change in my body, in my mind, in my thoughts, in my experience, but there's a one constant person who is available with all these different stages of the life or the growth. So that is none other than the self, which is the constantly available at all given stages, at all given states of experience. Now, this world and its objects are being emerged from the delusion or from the duality. Now, Atman alone is real and all these things are delusion. It is the game played by the mind. So how it is has been explained in the 8th verse. And in the 9th verse, interestingly, Dakshinamurthy Ashtamurti means Shiva has got 8 forms. So that has been described and it is given for Upasana. So till 8 slokas they teach of Advaita Vedanta, and after hearing still if you are not able to comprehend, if you are not able to get the realization, then the Acharya is giving that, okay, that means it is not enough for you, then you go for meditation, Upasana. So Shiva Upasana or Dakshinamurti Upasana has been given in the 9th verse, that there are 8 forms of Shiva that has been explained, which is beneficial for the meditation. In the 10th verse, Palashruti, the fruits, Atmagnana Phala. What are the merits you are getting accrued by studying Advaita Vedanta and by putting into practice? By studying alone is not enough. It has to be put into practice and it has to be established. By that, what happens? And by meditating on this universal form of Shiva. So what happens? What do you get? The Palashruti, the fruits of action, Karma Phala, has been told in the 10th verse. So this is the overall structure of the Dakshinamurti. So by God willing, by God's grace, we shall try to understand these verses slowly in detail in the forthcoming classes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Yeah, if you got any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Anything specific, Swamiji, in terms of preparation that we need to do before the class?
Yeah, I always suggest that if you can read the text, at least little meaning and overall meaning of the shlokas and come, it will be nice. So there are dhyana shlokas, 6 to 8 dhyana shlokas are there, and 10 shlokas are there. Maybe dhyana shloka, just I will go, maybe if just I will mention or just I will give the word to word meaning, then we'll go directly to the, what do you say, to the proper text in detail. Any simple translation, overall meaning is okay. Which there are a few, what you say, PDF copies are available in the net. Anything is okay.
Pranam Maharaj.
Mhm.
The class will be held. Accidentally, I just came across today's link. So I would know, when will you do the next class?
Yes, I think you are from South Africa, isn't it?
No, I'm from Mauritius, Maharaj.
Mauritius. Okay, thank you. Yeah, sorry for my ignorance. So yes, this is generally, it happens at every Tuesday, but sometimes for some reasons we will not have a classes. There is a, like, the organizer called Samit. You'll be able to see probably. If you message him, I think they have got a group there. They will add you, and if any updates are there, I think they will inform you.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Summit.
if you can leave your number in the chat, I will just add you to the WhatsApp.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Sema.
Maharaj, can you please repeat what verse 8 teaches?
Sorry?
Can you please repeat what verse 8 teaches? Verse 8.
Verse 8, okay. Verse 8 says that the world and its objects and whatever the incidents which is happening, which we all think that is real, but all of them are emerged from the duality, which is based on delusion brought out of Maya. So Atman alone is the real, which is the substratum behind all these things. The world and its objects and all are their appearance, and the Atman alone is the real. That is the 8th verse, the gist of the 8th verse.
Okay, Maharaj, thank you.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I think no more questions, I believe. Yeah.
Thank you.